I'm going to let you in on a secret. The world cannot reward what it cannot see. There's something that I want you to understand. What I want you to really think about is this. You can be incredibly talented. You can be intelligent. You can be hardworking. You can be honest. You can be passionate. You can be one of the best people in your entire industry and still be overlooked. Continue to be underpaid. Still be passed over. Still wondering why nobody seems to notice you. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The world cannot reward what it does not see. You may have the experience, you may have the knowledge, you may have the talent, you may have the heart, but if nobody knows who you are, if nobody understands you, if nobody knows what you believe, if nobody remembers you, then your talent can remain invisible. And I think there are millions of incredibly talented people living exactly that way. They're waiting for somebody to discover them, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for somebody to recognize their potential, waiting for somebody to finally say, you're the person we've been looking for. But what if nobody is coming? What if the opportunity isn't supposed to discover you? What if you're just supposed to become so clear, so valuable, so recognizable that the opportunity doesn't have to discover you? It finds you. That's the power of a personal brand. And no, I'm not talking about becoming famous. I'm not talking about dancing on TikTok. I'm not even talking about posting pictures of your breakfast and pretending you're a lifestyle influencer. And I don't want you to be some polished version of yourself online. I'm speaking to something much more powerful. I'm talking about becoming known for something that matters. Because whether you realize it or not, you already have a personal brand. You have one right now. The question isn't whether you have a personal brand or not. The question is, are you building it intentionally? Or are you letting other people build it for you? Because your personal brand is ultimately the collection of ideas, experiences, behaviors, stories, expertise, values, and impressions that people associate with your name. It's what people think when they hear your name. It's what they say when you're not in the room. It's what they remember after you've already left. And it's what they expect when you arrive again. Gary Vee has described personal branding in incredibly simple terms. Your personal brand is your reputation. That's the part I want you to understand. Your reputation is an asset. Your knowledge is an asset. Your experiences are assets. Your perspective is an asset. Your story is an asset. But if those things live exclusively in your head, the world doesn't have access to them. You spent many years becoming who you are. Think about that. Years. You've learned things. You've failed. You've succeeded. You've taken risks. You've made mistakes. You've figured things out. You've survived things that you didn't think were possible. You've developed opinions. You've developed taste. You've developed wisdom. You become really good at a few certain things. And somewhere inside all of that, there is value. Real value. But here's the place where most people make a mistake. They think that their expertise speaks for themselves, and it doesn't. Your expertise is silent until you communicate it. Your experience is invisible until you demonstrate it. Your ideas can't change somebody's life until you share them. And your reputation cannot travel further than your willingness to be seen. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Brando, I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want everyone knowing my business. I'm not here to become an influencer. I don't even know what to post. I don't have enough followers. I don't have anything interesting to say. I don't have the time. I'll start when I'm more successful. That one, come on. And I understand. Because putting yourself out there can feel uncomfortable, especially if you spent your entire life being taught to keep your head down and just do good work and let the work speak for itself. But here's the problem. The world has changed. We live in an economy of attention where people can search for you before they meet you. They can look you up before they hire you. They can see your ideas before they call you. They can watch your videos, read your writing. They can even listen to your podcasts and look at your work. They'll see what other people say about you and form an opinion before they've ever even shaken your hand. Your digital presence has become part of your reputation, and that creates an extraordinary opportunity because you can now introduce yourself before you ever enter the room. Think about that. You can walk into a room with zero physical presence, yet still be present. Your ideas can walk into rooms without you. Your photographs can walk into rooms without you. Your videos walk into rooms without you. Your writing can walk into rooms without you. Your reputation certainly walks into rooms without you, and that's leverage. And the beautiful thing about it is, you don't really need millions of people. You don't need everyone. You need the right people, the right 100, the right 1,000, the right 10,000. You just need the right community, the right clients, the right collaborators, the right employers, the right investors, the right opportunities. Because a personal brand isn't about being known by everybody. It's being known by the people who matter. That's a very different game. And once you understand that, everything changes. Because before you build a personal brand, life can feel like you're constantly introducing yourself. You meet somebody new, you have to explain what you do. You send a proposal, and you have to prove yourself. You apply for a job, and you just hope. You hope your resume makes it through. You launch a business, and you start from zero, or you start from experience. You walk into a networking event, and you hand somebody that business card. Hi, I'm John, I do this. Hi, I'm Sarah, I do that. And you hope they remember you, but most don't. Not because they're bad people, but because they're busy. Everyone is busy today. Everyone has problems. Everyone has 1,000 things that are competing for their attention. So if you're not memorable, you disappear. And that's painful. Because you know what you're capable of, but the market doesn't. Your family knows, a few of your friends may know, maybe your coworkers know. But the people who could change the trajectory of your life, they might have zero, absolutely no idea that you exist. And that's the cost of being unknown. And I don't say it to scare you, I say it to wake you up. Because I know you have something to say, you have something to teach. It's why you're here. You have something to build. You have something to contribute. And there are people out there who need to know exactly what you know. They just don't know where to find it yet. And that's where your personal brand comes in. Your personal brand becomes a bridge between your ability and somebody else's need. It tells people, this is who I am. This is what I believe. This is what I know. This is who I help. This is how I think. This is what I can do. And most importantly, this is why you should remember me. Now let's make something very clear. A personal brand isn't about pretending. It's not manufacturing a personality. It's not becoming somebody you're not. In fact, the strongest personal brands usually come from the opposite approach. They become more of themselves. They stop trying to sound like everybody else. They stop copying everybody else's content. They quit chasing every trend, and they stop trying to please everyone for sure. They stop asking, what do people want me to be? And what they start asking is, what am I here to contribute? And that's a powerful question. What are you here to contribute? What have you learned? What do you know that could help somebody? What mistakes have you made that someone else can avoid? And what do you believe that you're willing to defend? What experience has changed you? And what do you see that other people don't see? What problems are you uniquely equipped to solve? And who is it that you want to help? Those questions begin to create your brand, because clarity creates recognition, and recognition creates trust, and trust creates opportunity. That's the sequence. Clarity, recognition, trust, opportunity. The American Marketing Association describes personal branding around the idea of deliberately communicating your uniqueness, your image, and impact. Forbes, they're pretty similar. Trust, authority, credibility. But here's where it really gets interesting. Your personal brand becomes powerful because you say the right things over and over and over again with repetition. That's one of the great secrets, just like in the gym. You think people are tired of hearing you talk about the same thing? They're not. They haven't even heard it enough yet. You've heard your message 1,000 times. Your audience may have heard it twice, maybe once, maybe never. You're bored with your message long before the market understands your message. So don't be afraid to repeat yourself. If you want to be known for something, repeat it. Share it again, over and over. If you want to be remembered for something, repeat it. If you want people to associate your name with a particular idea, repeat it. The world rewards consistency because consistency creates familiarity, and familiarity reduces uncertainty. And when people repeatedly see you talking intelligently about the same subject, something begins to happen. They start connecting your name to that subject. You become the person they think of. Someone says, I need help with personal branding, and your name comes up. I need a photographer, and your name comes up. I need somebody who understands marketing. Your name comes up again. I need somebody to speak about this. Your name comes up. I know somebody who would be perfect for this. Again, your name comes up. That right there, that is the entire game. Becoming the name that comes up. Because opportunities don't always go to the best person. They often go to the person people know, the person that people trust, and the one that they remember. And if that sounds unfair, welcome to reality. But here's the good news. You can do something about it. You don't need permission. You don't need $1 million. You don't need a publicist. You don't need a huge team. You don't even have to be famous. You need clarity. You need courage. And most of all, you need consistency. Also, you need something worth saying. That's kind of about it. So start documenting what you know. Teach it, share it, write it, record it like this. Tell your stories, show your process, show your work, share the lessons you've learned, share your mistakes too, share your perspective. Give people something useful and stop waiting until you're perfect, because perfection is one of the greatest hiding places ever invented. I'll start it when my website's finished. I'll start when I lose 10 pounds. I'll start when I have better equipment, or I'll start when I know exactly what my niche is. I'll start when I have more experience. Nah, none of that. Start right now. Your brand is built while you're becoming, not after you've arrived. And here's another beautiful thing. Your personal brand can become an external memory from your life. Every lesson that you learn, you can then teach. Every challenge you overcome, you can document. Every breakthrough, you can share. Every project, every single project can become a case study. Every failure can become wisdom. And every conversation can become an idea. Every experience, well, that can become intellectual property. And suddenly, your life isn't just happening to you. Your life is becoming material. Your experience is becoming an asset. Your knowledge is becoming a body of work. And your body of work becomes evidence. Evidence that you know what you're talking about. It's pretty important. Because authority isn't created by saying, hey, look at me, I'm an expert. Authority is created by demonstrating your expertise. Show me, teach me, help me, challenge me, make me think, give me something that I didn't know, show me what you've done, show me the results, show me how you think. That's how trust is built. And trust, it's incredibly valuable because people buy from people that they trust. They hire people that they trust. They recommend people that they trust. And they certainly collaborate with people they trust. They follow the leaders they trust, and they give more opportunities to people they trust. And a powerful personal brand accelerates that trust. It doesn't happen overnight, but over time. That's why this is a long game. And I know we live in a world obsessed with overnight success. One viral video, one lucky break, one big client, one perfect post, one magical hack. But the people who build brands that last, they understand something different. Compounding. I talk about this one a lot. One useful idea, then another. One conversation, then another. One client, and then another. One piece of content, and then another. One relationship, and then another. And eventually, the snowball becomes too big to ignore. And that's how reputations are built. That's how authority is built. That's how your influence is built. And that's how freedom begins to show up. Because something extraordinary happens when people begin to know what you do. You stop chasing each opportunity, and the opportunities start becoming more relevant and magnetized back to you. You stop explaining everything from scratch because your body of work begins to explain it for you. And you definitely quit competing entirely on price because people begin valuing your perspective. You stop being a commodity and you start being a category of one. Now think about that freedom. Imagine waking up each day and seeing a message from somebody you've never met. Hey, I've been following your work for 6 months. I love the way you think. I think you'd be perfect for this. Can we talk? That's so different. That's inbound. That's leads coming to you. And that's what happens when your reputation begins working while you sleep. Your content doesn't sleep. Your website doesn't sleep. Your podcast doesn't sleep. Your YouTube channel doesn't sleep. Your book doesn't sleep. Your portfolio doesn't sleep. Your reputation doesn't sleep. And that's why personal branding is leverage, because you create something once and it can continue creating conversations long after you've created it. Now imagine the other side. Imagine no longer having to convince people that you're valuable. Imagine people already arriving interested. Imagine you walk into a meeting right now and the person across the table already knows your work. You apply for an opportunity and the decision maker has already watched your videos. Imagine a potential client. They say, hey, I've been following you for a while. Imagine somebody introducing you. This is Brando. He knows personal branding. That's the dream. Not fame, but recognition. Not attention for attention's sake, but relevance. Not followers, but trust. Not just likes, but impact. There's a huge difference there. And what I want you to understand is something else. Your personal brand can change more than your business. It can change how you even see yourself. Because when you publicly begin articulating what you believe, you become clearer about what you believe. And when you teach, you discover what you know. When you write, you discover what you think. And when you tell your story, you understand your story differently. When you decide what you stand for, you become harder to knock off course. So your brand becomes an exercise in self-awareness. And that's maybe the most valuable part, because ultimately, personal branding isn't just about getting the world to know you, it's about getting to know yourself. Who are you? What do you stand for? What do you refuse to compromise? What do you want to be remembered for? And what kind of people do you want to serve? What kind of work makes you feel alive? What kind of life are you building? Those questions, they all matter. And when your brand begins to align with your answers, something powerful happens. Your business becomes more aligned. Your content becomes easier. Your decisions become easier. Your opportunities become clearer. Your relationships, they become more intentional. Because you're no longer trying to be everything to everybody. You're becoming somebody specific. And specificity is powerful. You don't need everyone. You need your people. The people who understand your message. What you need is people who resonate with your values. The people who need that expertise that you carry. The people who appreciate your perspective. The people who say, that's exactly what I've been looking for. And those people, they exist, but they can't find you yet if you refuse to be found. So let me ask you something else. What would happen? What would happen now if you stopped hiding? What would happen if you decided that your ideas, they deserve daylight? And what would happen if you stopped waiting for permission? What would happen if you stopped comparing your beginning to somebody else's chapter 10? What would happen if you accepted that your first video may be awkward? Your first post may only get 12 views. Your first website may not be perfect. Your first offer may need tweaking. And your first attempt might be terrible. But who cares? Because you're building. And builders, they often have ugly first drafts. That's just part of the deal. You don't become confident and then build your brand. You build your brand and the confidence follows. You don't become the authority and then start sharing your knowledge. You share your knowledge and the authority that you already have, it begins to compound. You don't wait to become memorable. You become memorable through repetition. You certainly don't wait for an opportunity. You create the conditions where opportunities find you. And that's one of the reasons why I believe personal brand building is one of the greatest opportunities you have today. Because it's the first time in history where you don't need a gatekeeper to publish your ideas. You can build the platform. You can grow an audience. You can build a reputation. You certainly build trust, and you can build a business. You can build a movement, and you can build something that belongs to you, and nobody has to give you permission. Think about that for a second. Think about what that really means. You can take the thing that you've spent 20 years learning and you turn it into your body of work. You turn it into education, and you take your story and turn it into connection. You take your expertise, you turn it into opportunity. You take your reputation and you turn it into leverage. And you take your voice, give it a microphone. But you have to make a decision. You have to decide for yourself. I'm no longer going to be the best kept secret in my industry. I'm no longer going to wait for somebody else to recognize me. I'm no longer going to hide behind perfection. I am going to become known. Known for something meaningful. Known for something valuable. Known for something true. And known for something that helps people. And then you show up again and again and again. And you just keep showing up because your future audience is out there. Your future clients are out there. Your future business partner is out there. Your future employer is out there. Certainly your future collaborators are out there. But right now, they may simply be asking, where is this person? Your job is to become findable, become visible, become valuable, become consistent, become trustworthy, become memorable, and eventually become undeniable. Because the world rewards people that it knows, and it remembers people who consistently give it a reason to remember them. So you don't build a personal brand because you want attention. You build one because you have something worth contributing. You don't build a personal brand because you want to become famous. You build one because you want to become useful. And you build one because you want the right people to trust you. You're not building one because everybody else is doing it. You build one because your future deserves to have a voice. Your knowledge deserves to have a home. Your ideas, they deserve an audience. Your experiences, they deserve to be shared, and your story deserves to be told. And your potential, it deserves to be seen. So this is what I want you to do. When this video ends, don't just feel motivated. Go do something. Write down 3 things that you want to be known for. Write down the people that you want to help. Write down a problem that you want to solve. And write down the perspective that you've earned through experience. And then share it, ship it, put it somewhere, make something, publish something, record something, teach something. Just start. And then tomorrow, well, do it again. Because your personal brand isn't built in one day. It's built one decision at a time, one idea at a time, one conversation at a time, one piece of content at a time, and one person helped at a time. But eventually, you're going to look back and realize something extraordinary has happened. You're no longer introducing yourself. People, they already know who you are. You're no longer explaining what you do. People already understand your value. You're no longer chasing every opportunity. The right opportunities, they're beginning to find you. And you're no longer wondering whether your voice matters. You already know it does. And you're no longer asking, will people notice me? You're asking a much more powerful question. What am I going to do with this attention that I've earned? And that's the responsibility of a personal brand. Because visibility isn't the destination. Your impact is. Recognition isn't even the destination. Your contribution is. Followers are not the destination. The people helped, the problem solved, the lives changed, and the business is built. The ideas that you spread, those are your destinations. And maybe, just maybe, the greatest personal brand you can build isn't the one that makes the world say your name the loudest. It's the one that makes the world better because you are here. So get clear. Become visible. Get useful. Get consistent. Tell your story. Share the things that you know. Stand for something. Stand tall, certainly. Help somebody and keep showing up. Because somewhere out there, there's somebody that needs exactly what it is that you know. There's somebody that they need to know what you've learned. They need to understand your perspective. And there's also somebody out there that needs your encouragement. They need to hear the solutions that you've come up with. They need to hear your story, but they can't find you if you keep hiding. So step forward, use your voice, build your reputation, build your body of work, and build your personal brand. Not so the world can simply know your name, but so the right people can understand why your name matters. And then keep going. Because your story isn't finished. Your best work hasn't happened yet. Your greatest opportunity may not have found you yet. And the person you're becoming may be waiting for you to finally become visible enough for the world to find them. So now I challenge you. What are you waiting for? Start. Build. Create. Share. Repeat. Become known. Become known for something worth knowing. I'm Brandon of Brando Builds Brands. I help people do this all the time. If you'd like to work with me, send me a DM and we'll get started right away. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.